Your nightly news with Michael Maney begins now.
Good evening, everyone. The Liberals are set to form the next Tasmanian government after Labor today conceded it would struggle to form government. It will be in minority though, as voters have delivered a swing away from the major parties. For more, we're joined by state political reporter Josh Duggan. And Josh, from an uncertain result as votes trickled in last night, it looks to have quickly become a lot clearer.
Michael, Labor appears to have folded today, presented with a very difficult path back towards government. This puts Jeremy Rockliff in the box seat to remain as Premier, though it will be in minority. He's begun conversations with the crossbench, though he isn't doing that with the Greens. And as you say, it's a remarkable turnaround from last night when everything appeared uncertain, yet everyone was claiming a victory of sorts. They say beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Today also looks like a fourth consecutive win for the Liberal Party.
An ugly double-digit swing against the Liberals didn't dissuade Jeremy Rockliff, claiming victory in front of supporters.
And let's be clear, the Liberal team has clearly gained the most votes this election and the most seats by a large margin.
But he's set to fall even deeper into minority.
Humble people don't speak of a coalition of chaos whenever they don't get their own way, or claim a victory when the results aren't clear.
Despite Labor barely topping their 2021 result, Rebecca White went on the offensive. Even further from power, she wasn't conceding yet either.
Whether he can ultimately remain as Premier will be up to the members who are ultimately elected.
The night's big winner, the Greens, on track to pick up seats in Bass and Lyons, with a potential fifth in Clark.
We need change, and change is possible.
Jackie Lambie's party will likely win in Braddon. The pair of Liberal Party defectors, John Tucker and Lara Alexander, appear to be out. Liberal Senator Erica Betts's return to politics is confirmed. Jane Hallett's switch to the lower house has paid off. David O'Byrne and Christy Johnston's independent tilts also look to be successful. It all suggests at least 14 Liberals, 10 for Labor, 4 Greens, 1 Jackie Lambie Network MP and 2 independents, with 4 seats unclear. By today, Labor's mood was starkly different. Rebecca White conceding Labor's unlikely to form government.
Convention would dictate that because the Liberal Party have won more seats, that the Governor will ask them to seek support of the Parliament to form government.
Labor Party rules say with an election lost, the leadership's now vacant. Rebecca White says she's still in charge until the party room meets.
We'll make decisions as a consensus group. I'm not about to make any declarations today.
It opens the door for Jeremy Rockliff to form government. He's reached out to the crossbench.
I've picked up the phone, I've spoken to Jackie, I've spoken to Mr O'Byrne as well, and I've reached out to Christy Johnston as well.
Reiterating no trading away of ministries or his 2030 strong plan, and the Greens left out entirely.
It's clear that the mood for change that we have felt throughout this campaign is reflected in the results.
They've given us a kick, I accept that, I've listened. Our government will do better. But they also did not vote to change the government.
An election cold as the Premier grappled with minority, something he said is destructive. Now headed back for round 2, hoping it doesn't become his very own coalition of chaos.
Now, Josh, when are we likely to know much more?
Michael, countings continue today, but the distribution of preferences won't occur until later next week. That's when we should find out the exact totals that each party has, along with who those MPs are. There's a few incumbents like Simon Wood in Bass that are on the fringes at the moment that will face an excruciating wait until then. On forming government, well, Jeremy Rockliff says he's catching up with Jackie Lambie this week as he looks to lock in her party's support. That will be crucial. Michael?
Thanks, Josh. Josh Duggan reporting there from Hobart. Well, potential members of the crossbench will take time to review the vote and work out the final makeup of the new parliament. However, those in contention all agree the results are a wake-up call for Labor and the Liberals, saying voters have sent a message.
The morning after, the night before, Christy Johnston was busy with her second job. The Clark candidate confident last drinks won't be called on her political career.
It was a very nerve-wracking day, but certainly once those primaries came in, it was looking much better.
And she's set to have more friends on the crossbench. The count showing more and more Tasmanians look beyond Liberal and Labor. Miss Johnston welcoming the upcoming change.
I think it reflects the will of the community and certainly means that Parliament will hopefully be more accountable and focus on the issues that matter to the community.
Next door in Franklin, David O'Byrne is on track to keep his seat. The veteran political operator is ready to navigate minority rule.
I'll be one of 35. I'll talk to other members of the crossbench and obviously the major parties, and I'll play a constructive role.
The Jackie Lambie network still waiting to see what role they'll play. Lions candidate Troy Feisner says he's in a tough fight.
I certainly won't celebrate or get too excited until the numbers are counted. But I think we've put the effort in.
While there were winners, there were also losers. Former Speaker Sue Hickey failed in her bid to return to Parliament. Louise Elliott's bid fizzled out early in the night, as did Jack Davenport in Bass. John Tucker and Lara Alexander's careers also over for now.
You know how they say never say never? I think I'm always going to have a keen interest in politics.
While the phone calls have begun, both Miss Johnson and Mr O'Byrne will wait for the dust to settle.
It's really important that all members of Parliament and candidates, potentially members of Parliament, listen to what the community has to say.
Once we know what the Parliament looks like, I think that's when there'll be some serious discussions.
All agree, though, the message is clear for the major parties.
People were supportive of our stance around transparency and accountability.
They're really looking for a better functioning Parliament, one that's collaborative, one that works well together.
The three parties really need to have a long, hard look at themselves.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
The Jack Jumpers are in the thick of a match against Melbourne United at John Cain Arena. Brianna Boylan joins us live from a watch party at West Point. And Brianna, what's the atmosphere like there?
Michael, it's a mixture of excitement and nerves. Fans are on the edge of their seats, hoping the Jack Jumpers can repeat history after beating Melbourne just 2 days ago. Tip-off was at 5:30. Tasmania is currently leading 39-37, and while we might not be at the stadium, it sure does sound like it.
It's an amazing atmosphere. The crowd are really getting behind the Jack Jumpers. It's just fantastic and lively.
Meanwhile, members of the Ant Army made themselves known in Melbourne, marching as a pack into the arena. Sweet relief for spectators here, Michael, knowing the Jackies aren't entirely without their local fan base.
Thanks, Brianna. Brianna Boylan. Fingers crossed. A new plane has landed in Tasmania, but it won't be taking off anytime soon. The Royal Flying Doctor Service is welcoming an additional flight simulator designed to give students a unique educational adventure.
The latest addition to the Flying Doctors fleet, giving the next generation a glimpse into life in the air.
It's got all of the equipment that would be used on a normal flight, assisting people.
The new educational simulator is promising to revolutionise the Look Up in the Sky program, encouraging Tasmanian students to jump on board, take a look inside the cockpit and immerse themselves into real-life experiences.
Quite often kids get told not to touch stuff. You can look but don't touch, but we tell the kids, touch all the stuff and fly the aeroplane, be a doctor or be a nurse.
Flying on a real aeroplane, we flew over probably Tasmania or Victoria.
Well, this aircraft is staying firmly on the ground. It will soon take off on an educational tour around Tasmania, visiting schools across the state, hoping to spark preventative and positive health conversations.
It allows us to then intertwine those messages about oral hygiene, physical and mental health.
Helping future careers get off to a flying start.
I had kids, they tell me it was the best day of their life. A lot of, look, it probably isn't, but it just says to me they've had a really good day.
Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Some of Tasmania's best gymnasts spent the weekend defying gravity at the state championships. This year's competition even more aggressive, with an increase in athletes attempting to qualify for nationals.
Making airborne skills look easy. More than 100 athletes taking the floor at the Gymnastics State Championships.
It's in the lead up to Nationals, which happens in May.
and it's the last point of qualifying to make the state team.
12 disciplines on display, including vault, tumbling and synchronised trampolining. Young competitors striving to impress the seniors who performed yesterday.
Yesterday I was actually competing in the senior individual men's trampoline event. Was able to pull out the win, and it was a very competitive event this time.
I'm also a coach, so being able to watch the people that I coach compete is really nice.
And their flexibility doesn't stop there. Amber and Patrick today on board the judges panel.
What we're looking for is execution, so how well they can perform the skill, and also the degree of difficulty.
Their work cut out for them due to high participation rates.
We've got about 13 clubs across the state at the moment, with a new few this year coming in. The sport's growing, clubs are growing. We're seeing an increased number in our regional and remote areas.
Gymnastics Tasmania now seeking government funding for more facilities in the north. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
The Jack Jumpers are locked in a tight struggle in Game 3 of their NBL Grand Final series against Melbourne United. Melbourne started well, racing to a 5-point lead at quarter time. Fabian Krislovic scored some crucial points early in the second term as the Jackies overcame United's early fast start. Milton Doyle put the Jack Jumpers in front late in the second quarter, but a Chris Golding 3 on half-time gave United a narrow 1-point lead at 44-43. Some of the state's most promising karate talent have taken to the mat for the Tasmanian Open Championships in Launceston. 42 competitors from 9 dojos sparring through a cutthroat round robin for a prized position on the podium.
Really good to see the sort of level and see the improvement from last year's competition to this year's competition. This championship's the first championship for us for the year.
Athletes keen to catch the eye of selections, with today's action treated as a stepping stone toward the National Championships in August.
Good evening. Hobart and Burnie both 19, the state's top 22 degrees recorded in Launceston and Devonport today. Flinders Island, Friendly Beaches and Maria Island 20, King Island, Smithton, Low Head and St Helens all 19. 17 the top for Grove, Strawn and Bushy Park 16. A taste of what's to come for our friends in Lyweni. They managed just 11 degrees today. It was mostly cloudy across the state with some high-level cloud across most parts. A large mid-level cloud band is over most of the country with some isolated thunderstorms across the tropics. An onshore flow pushes cloud about southern states. Tomorrow, a front is passing Tasmania's east, embedded within a westerly wind regime. Westerly winds 20 to 30 knots, increasing up to 45 knots in the south and northeast. West to southwesterly swells increasing up to 6.5 metres in the south. A severe weather warning for damaging winds has been issued for the Upper Derwent Valley, parts of Western, South East and Central Plateau forecast districts. A gale warning is also in place between east of Flinders Island to include Bank Strait and Franklin Sound. There's also a warning between Tasman Island to Sandy Cape. A strong wind warning has also been issued for many inland and coastal waters tomorrow. Hobart and Dover can expect winds tomorrow to ease with a maximum of 19 degrees, showers for Ooze 18. Partly cloudy towards the north, Launceston 22, Devonport and Scottsdale both 21. Cloudy and windy in Burnie 18 also for Strawn. Very windy conditions in Stanley with 21. Grey skies also for the east, St Helens 23, Swansea 21, Ross 20 the expected top. Looking further now to the 3-day forecast. Tuesday, light morning showers about the west, far south of the Furneaux Islands. Fine elsewhere apart from a possible evening shower in the south. Wednesday, fine apart from light showers in the west, far south and the Bass Strait Islands. Thursday, remaining fine apart from possible light showers about the far south. We'll take a look now further north. The nation's top 31 in Cairns and Broome. Tomorrow, fine in Perth 29. Canberra, sunny 27. One up in Sydney 28. 24. And partly cloudy in Melbourne. It's currently cloudy in Hobart 15 degrees, also cloudy in Launceston with 17 and in Devonport, although windy. And now Michael, there is no ignoring the typical Tassie autumn conditions right now, and it's certainly getting a little bit chilly.
You can certainly feel it in the air, can't you? That is for sure. Well, that is all the news for now. From all the team here at 7 Tasmania, have a lovely evening. Good night.